Planning a webinar can feel overwhelming, to say the least, but it doesn't have to be. So let's break it down step by step so you're set up for success from the very start. This video includes 26 tips from A to Z to help you make the best webinar possible. But here's the twist. Each tip builds on the last so that by the end, you're going to have a complete roadmap for planning, running, and repurposing your webinar content like a pro. So grab a notebook and get ready to take some notes. Let's dive in. Let's kick things off with the foundation of any great webinar, your audience. If you don't understand what they care about, you're going to lose them before you even begin. So you have to ask yourself, what challenges can your webinar solve for them? And then tailor your content to their needs, and that way they'll stay engaged. Once you know your audience, you want to make your webinar unforgettable by branding it. Use consistent colors, logos, and fonts to leave a lasting impression. Platforms like Riverside let you customize the viewer experience with branded layouts so your webinar looks polished and professional. Here's where the things get focused. What's the purpose of your webinar? Are you educating, selling, or building community? Defining this goal helps shape your content, making it more effective. Your webinar isn't just about the live event. It's also about learning from your audience. So use registration links to collect data like attendee roles or interests. On Riverside, you can actually create audience registration links to easily track numbers and tailor your future webinars. Your webinar is now live. The audience is watching. Now what? This is where things get fun. Your webinar should feel like a conversation, not a lecture. Start by asking your audience something simple like where they're joining from.
And welcome everyone from Maryland, from Canada, London, Rachel's tuning in, Dusseldorf, Germany. Very cool.
You can use polls, Q&As, or live chats to keep them involved. On Riverside, you can even display comments and questions on the screen for real-time interaction. What happens after the webinar? Don't let the connection fade. Follow up with emails or surveys or bonus content to keep that relationship alive. If you want to make your webinar even more engaging, bring in guest speakers or industry experts. Their insights are going to add credibility and help expand your audience. This one's critical. Bad audio will drive people away no matter how good your content is. So use a USB mic like the ATR 2100X for quality sound, or you could go with something like the Shure MV7 if you want a more studio look. Your audience doesn't want to just sit and watch, they want to participate. So add live polls, quizzes, or interactive links. This is a pro tip. Always log in 10 to 15 minutes early to test your setup. This prevents tech issues from derailing your webinar. Remember, less is more. People are busy, so stick to the key points. If you're new to webinars, start with shorter sessions and then build up as you gain confidence. Stream live on platforms like YouTube or Facebook to reach a broader audience. On Riverside, you can broadcast to multiple platforms simultaneously. If you want to keep things interesting, incorporate videos or slides or even screen shares into your webinar. Webinars aren't just about presenting, they're also about connecting. Use chats or Q&As to encourage attendees to network and share ideas. Think of your webinar like a story. It needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. Create an outline or a script to stay on track and avoid rambling. P is for promotion. This is the first step to success. You want to share your webinar in social media, email newsletters, even Facebook groups. The more places you promote, the more people you'll reach, and the more people will attend. Focus on delivering valuable content, not just cramming in too much. Your audience will appreciate the depth of your content. Once it's over, the work isn't done. You want to repurpose your webinar into social media clips, blog posts, or even podcasts. I have a whole video on how to repurpose your webinars that I will link above for you. You want to switch up the speaker layouts during the webinar to keep the visuals dynamic. Throughout your webinar, Riverside lets you toggle between grid view, speaker view, or shared screens with just some keyboard shortcuts. You want to make sure that your internet, camera, and lighting are good to go before you hit record. Nothing kills a webinar faster than technical difficulties. What makes your webinar different? You want to highlight your unique offering to attract the right audience. You want to keep your slides clean and eye-catching. Too much text? No thank you. Stick to simple visuals that enhance your message. Start with a friendly introduction to set the tone, thank people for joining, and give them a quick overview of what to expect. X is extra time for questions. Okay, I kind of cheated on this one. But you always want to leave room for a Q&A at the end. This shows that you value your audience's input and it makes the session more interactive. Y is for YouTube. Don't let your webinar end with the live event. turn it into a YouTube video to reach a larger audience, and you can edit it using Riverside's editor for more polished results. And finally, Z or Z, zoom out on your results. You want to analyze your performance, look at attendee rates, engagement metrics, and feedback to improve your next webinar. And there you have it. That is 26 tips from A to Z to help you plan, run, and repurpose your webinars like a pro. Remember, the more you practice, the better you'll get. If you want to see these tips in action, you can check out Riverside's monthly demo webinars for inspiration. And if you learned something new today, I would love it if you gave this video a thumbs up to let me know, and consider subscribing to the channel for more tips and tricks like this. Thanks for hanging out with me. My name is Bridget O'Rourke, and I will see you next week. Bye.